Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Themis and Thought. Grab your coffee, water, tea, whatever you're drinking. Go and get that. Something that I didn't realize. Sorry, I'm trying to get petty. I'm trying to. I forgot. I forgot that to get petty. I have to send him the link, but I'm gonna message now. How are you? How is everyone? How is everyone? I did not realize for the longest time, I did not realize that we had so many scientists, lawyers, and pretty much like forensic scientists specifically. I didn't realize we had so many forensic scientists in our midst. I did not know that. And so I think that I want to first point out how humbled, how extraordinarily humbled um, I am. I want to, like, I am very humbled by the fact that so many of us went to law school, med school, so many of us are investigators. Um, I'm humbled by that. I want to say thank you all for your contribution to this great work that is fighting for Black rights. I appreciate it. How are you all doing this Sunday? How are y'all? Um, I was actually doing something very important when this video popped up on my For You page. And I do think that I need to go through and engage more deeply in the people, with the people that I follow and curate my page, my YouTube algorithm. I do think I need to curate it because ain't no reason I should be seeing this. And it did disturb me because one of the questions that I keep asking myself, Saturday, Saturday. One of the things that I keep asking myself is why specifically Black women. I understand Black men. I understand why Black men would defend degenerate men. I think a culture that allows you to do whatever you want opens up opportunities for you to be degenerate without being held accountable. And even if you are not acting that way, supporting men who act that way helps either your friends or family members once it's not aimed in your direction. So I get it. Um, if the floor is in hell, any amount of adjustment in a positive direction for yourself makes you look that much better than your competitors, right? And the people that you are being compared to. So if you raise the floor too high, then you are forced, obviously, to become a better person. And no one wants that, do they? So I get the men. I don't understand women. I don't understand women. Honest to God, I don't get women who stand up for people like Tory Lanez or Kelly P. Diddy. I don't like, I understand jealousy. I understand hating the women you think are privileged. I understand insecurity. But more than that, I would assume there is a sort of need for self-preservation and creating a culture where you and who you are um, is protected. Your image is protected. So I don't fully get women. I don't fully get women who defend degenerate men. And Tory Lanez is degenerate. The case is closed until you go to appeal and you file some documentation with the court. all of this online is annoying. Yes, he was stabbed multiple times. That is very unfortunate. The person who stabbed him should be held accountable. I hope he's doing well. I don't wish that on anyone. I think that it is disgusting that our system, our prison system, does not protect in its attempt to rehabilitate, and it doesn't actually rehabilitate, but in its punishment, adding on to that, someone being stabbed is atrocious. He needs to be helped, obviously, go to the doctor, and then sent back into prison. So I don't know why people are out here saying, "Oh, he was stabbed, free Tory Lanez." We're like, wait, that's not how the criminal justice system works. So he gets stabbed. There is this new sense of sadness for him. And in the moment of sadness, we are now trying to relitigate the case. So the specter that surrounds the discussion is that he was just stabbed. And there is this kind of impulse to make him feel like a victim. And he was a victim. And so in that discussion about justice system and security for prisoners, we are now trying to relitigate. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not about to sit here and try to relitigate it with anyone. Hey, Prince Petty, how are you?
I'm well. Good afternoon. How are you?
I am doing well. I know you were trolling with your comment that I pinned. We protect black men that legally can't be around guns. Clock it. Right. Um, what are your initial thoughts before we get into the impressive channel's video? Mind you, I used to, and I'm saying used to, really like this channel.
The impressive thoughts.
Oh, sorry, let me add this to the screen. This channel right here. It's a gossip channel, but it felt like it was very even handed and fair, more than the other ones, but this analysis is atrocious that we're about to watch.
I don't think I've seen the
Oh no, it
channel.
just came out. It came out this morning, like 7 hours ago.
I don't think I've
I
seen
don't.
the channel
What?
before, so I don't know how they generally cover content. But regarding the Tory Lane's defense, the team's defense, have you actually seen the website
Yes.
and all of the evidence they presented?
I went through some of the evidence. I think people misunderstand um, motion practice in court. They're calling it suppression of evidence when it's very specifically exclusion of evidence. Tory's team could not find, if they did have some of these evidence, because we weren't in the court for all of this, but if the evidence was excluded from trial, it was due to the fact that they could not justify its inclusion. That is very different than evidence suppression. But you've seen it and you have thoughts. Go ahead.
So I want to say that I believe the evidence from Tory Lane's team is actually pretty compelling. That's not a joke or satire or like trolling. So, and I do believe we owe an apology when we're wrong. And I believe the apology should be as loud as the attack. I
All right,
believe.
go ahead
So
and apologize.
I will. But first, the why. So when I saw the new evidence, mind you, this happened in stages. So I did a video that's members only now. And it's because they were saying, Tory's team was saying, we're going to come out with evidence 36 hours later, which I pretty much dismissed immediately because ain't nobody care about that. They came out with the evidence more than 36 hours later, like a week later. And the evidence was pretty much a press conference with, I think, some MAGA senator or politician or somebody. And she was like, saying a bunch of nothing at a press conference and presenting evidence which we already had at the trial and before the trial and during the trial and after the trial, like evidence that we already knew, so nothing new, but they were just presenting it again and saying free Tory, which I pretty much dismissed. So when the website came out, I was ready again to dismiss the evidence until I actually went through and read the website. I believe, because I took one single information literacy class in college, just one single 3 credit class, three credit hour class, that we should be diligent when we're consuming information. We should not go through and read a little bit and decide that we dismiss the entire website based on a couple of things that we read. Sir, this is a direct attack to you.
I mean, it's a direct attack. I take the attack. I'm waiting for the evidence that you have.
Okay, just making sure. I don't like to be shady. I like to be like direct, and not underhanded. So I was surprised to. So you have the website up now, I'm assuming.
I didn't have it up, but I can pull it up if you need it.
Okay, please do.
No.
Okay, I'll put the link in the private chat if you.
All right, go ahead. Put it in.
So we can follow along. Okay, so if you scroll down to the fact check list, this should be pretty early.
Yeah.
So right at the fact check list, if you read the first 3 statements, what you can see is exactly what we saw during the trial. That man is staying in jail. Ain't nobody care about this website. Tory Lanez, if you're watching, I apologize for absolutely nothing.
Wait, let me read the first one. Megan told police and doctors she stepped on glass, not shot. Video and officers confirm Megan stepped on glass bottle, not hit by gunfire. Sean Kelly testified to the regurgitation of the facts feels like, well, I'm not gonna say feels like, it's just like, this is like kind of insane.
And it's like, it's the fact that his supporters are coming out saying this is new evidence and this is suppressed evidence, when this is stuff that Megan herself and her team in the court case had already revealed. Like, she's saying she stepped in glass. Everyone, look, she's saying she stepped in glass. There was never a bullet. When this is stuff that she admitted, like, initially, before there was even a court case, tells me that when this came out and everyone was siding with him, they didn't care about the evidence in the first place. They just cared that he was a man and she was a woman.
Yeah.
A black woman specifically.
Again, because the people who are saying he didn't do it were the people saying he did and making jokes prior to him denying that he did it. Everyone was saying he did it and they were making jokes when him going to jail was not on the table. As soon as him going to jail became a part of the discourse, when Megan said, okay, you stop making songs about me with this horse leg, stop making jokes about me, stop coming out here and dragging me, I'm going to defend myself. As soon as she comes out and says, Tory did it, all the people who were making jokes about how Tory shot Megan switched their argument to it didn't happen, she stepped on glass, and if it did happen, it was Kelsey who shot Megan. Mind you, they don't actually have the evidence for Kelsey shotting Megan, but they're really pushing that narrative and saying Tory didn't, when there is evidence and a phone call from Tory apologizing because he shot. If you saw Kelsey shooting Megan, why are you calling Kelsey apologizing to Kelsey for winning? A period. He gonna stay in prison. He gonna stay there. And if the governor pardon him, that governor will never see the press. I mean, I guess he's never gonna see the Oval Office, so it doesn't really matter.
I knew he was guilty as soon as I saw how they drew his hair.
Yeah, the fact that this is their website and they have the bald spot in his head is nasty work. If I were Tory, I'm suing my team. Why would you put the bald spot
What's the opposite of a bald spot? What's it called when you only have one spot of hair?
Wait, it's not a ball. I don't know, because it's not a bald spot. It's a bald head with hair, a hair spot. Oh my God. Themis, tell people who disagree with you to come up. Oh, I will, but they're not going to come up. We know they're weak. So the people who defend Tory just tend to be by themselves and do their echo chamber thing. They don't actually want to engage with anyone because they can't engage with anyone. Like, it's not a thing they can do. But I don't know. Did I hit the intro yet? All right, let me hit the intro. Grab your coffee, water, tea. I'm drinking bubble tea. I told myself that matcha means that all this sugar is good for me. So let's do it. All right.
So,
on my phone, go ahead.
I was going to ask if you think this is an example of Darvo, but this feels like people most likely know he did it. Like, I've seen several examples of this lately with several different prominent women, like Holly Bailey comes to mind. People know he did it. Like, he most likely did it. And they're just willfully ignoring it. So I'm wondering, like, what's going on. And then, like, when Tory Lanez news comes out that he's stabbed 14 times in jail, immediate belief from his crowd. Like, immediately, they don't need cameras, they don't need like a reputable source, they don't need evidence, they don't need anything. They immediately believe it without any evidence. When the video comes out, it's grainy. We don't see a knife. We don't see anything but a black blob. It's at 240p. It's the YouTube video that loads up before it's finished. The internet's really bad. You know how it's really blurry. They don't even know if this is Tory Lanez for sure, but they're like certain that Rock Nation, Jay-Z himself came into prison and shut down all the cameras. He hacked everything and came in personally to, like, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah,
this
well,
incredibly weird.
So I was trying to look through it, find a lens to look through it through, like black male worship. I feel like black male worship is all encompassing in a way that allows for when I can, because is it trauma bonding? Is it a kind of codependence between black men and black women generally? Is this what we sociologists and psychologists would call self-sacrificial behavior? Don't know. Is this like a sort of in-group loyalty that has extended too far? Is this learned helplessness? And learned helplessness was the way that I wanted to approach it, but no, it's black male worship. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's low self-esteem and black male worship.
Can we confine this to the black community? I believe, like most things in the black community, we may be able to say this is how this is showing up in its most extreme form. But I believe, like, we can look to how people look to their president, for example, and seem to turn a blind eye to like flagrant behavior, and then look to other politicians who they disagree with the most scrutiny.
Yeah, but I think the analysis there would be different than the way that women engage with patriarchy, right? Like, I do think white women also engage in uplifting patriarchy in this very specific way, but I do think it's pronounced and a difference in kind for black women who think that black men are under attack in a very specific way. So I think if you think these men are kings, they were subjugated and they're under attack and we need to protect them, I think that shows up very different than, oh, I believe in patriarchy and men are leaders, right? So when a man is being thrown under the bus, I don't think white women gather in protection of, in the way that black women like legitimately will know the man is trash, guilty as charged, and will throw themselves at the feet of black male worship. Like, I think it's very different in kind. And that's why the sociological review of it, or psychological or anthropological, like, it's not there. The writers and the intellects, the academics, I don't think they will engage in the kind of work to uncover what this is.
I gotta show you what my sociology teacher wrote to me about a paper I did.
All right.
She didn't like the term black male worship at all.
Where you put that in an academic paper?
We have to WEB the boys or something, whatever they said. We're gonna be the ones to introduce it.
I feel like it should be, and it should be defined and theorized and like reviewed, investigated. I think we should introduce it into the academic lexicon.
I look up black male worship and it pull up the top 10 gospel leaders. So something has to change. Greatest black gospel songs of all time.
We protect black men that legally can't be around. Oh, I said this. Thank you again, Miriam. They wanted a woman can stick together narrative. They wanted a woman can stick. Yeah. Isn't the state that pursued, because he was in illegal possession of firearm as a non-citizen and a felon, even if he didn't discharge the gun. That is correct. That is correct, mundo. Did you find your paper or no?
Oh, no, not publicly. I would never.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Let me know when to pause if you want me to pause or whatever.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive Channel. There have been some bombshell evidence that has been dropped regarding this whole Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez case. Now, Tory Lanez is currently spending 10 years in prison because he was found guilty of shooting at Megan Thee Stallion. And his legal team has been working hard for him to get an appeal because they feel like there was some foul play in court. And they recently released a lot of evidence related to this case, and some of the evidence was actually suppressed. So even though
that word suppressed is absolutely nasty work.
Bombshell evidence was nasty from the beginning.
Yes, true. All right, take bombshell and why that disturbed you, and then I will take suppressed and why that disturbed me.
No, bombshell, because what did she see? Like, I'm curious. Like, I'm about to pull up the channel. You can continue, but I'm gonna pull up the channel and see if she commented on the original when it came out 2 years ago, and then compare it to this video. Because what's bombshell evidence? Like, what new did you see on this channel compared to when it came out that you're like, oh my god, this is crazy?
But here's my number. Here's the thing, too. It is odd to me that she used the word suppressed. When evidence is excluded, it's because it does not have a basis to be brought in. It is very rare and highly unlikely for the court to reject evidence in defense of the person being accused. The legal system is set up in such a way that the defense get a lot of leeway, particularly in criminal trials, to defend themselves. Tory decided his dusty self is not going to take the stand, and he also could not provide sufficient background or sufficient. He did not know how to provide evidence, is what they want to say, but he did, and they did provide all they rest their case thinking they did what needed to be done. Like, I don't understand. Like, no one is suppressing Tory Lanez evidence. No, absolutely zero people who were trying to suppress in the court, trying to suppress Tory Lanez evidence. He had all the ability to provide his evidence. All right.
it's not new, it wasn't shown during the trial. So it is some bombshell evidence now that it's being presented to the public. And Tory's appeal is currently pending, so if they do update the evidence, it's going to cause a much greater delay. And after Tory got stabbed 14 times in prison, his team is like, nah, he got to get out of here. So there is a sense of urgency to get him out. Now, we can get into some important facts here. For one, his DNA wasn't on the magazine of the gun, nor was it conclusively on the actual gun itself. So that kind of rules out the idea that he owned the gun and he shot it 5 times, because
that is an insane statement to make. The fact that his DNA was not on the magazine of the gun or the gun itself means that it conclusively ruled him out of firing the gun. Again, I did not know we had detectives here. I did not know the Impressive channel was a channel that does investigation in criminal cases, that does forensic scientists. Like, I didn't know that. But a simple Google search will have you find that it is possible for your DNA to not be on a gun, even if you shot it more than 5 times. This depends on several factors. DNA transfer relies on skin cells, sweat, or other biological material being deposited on the gun's surface. You can, in fact, shoot a gun without making any kind of DNA deposit on that gun. I don't know what you're talking about. There are multiple people who have been convicted of shooting and killing someone whose DNA was not on the gun. The perpetrator's DNA was not on the gun. It has happened multiple times. In fact, there is a stat here. Studies suggest DNA is recovered only 10 to 50% of the time in various cases. Like, what do you mean the DNA wasn't there, so it conclusively proved that he, one, didn't own the gun, and 2, didn't fire the gun? Like, you could literally fact check that yourself. You don't actually have to go to law school to fact check that. You don't have to be a forensic scientist to fact check that. You could literally Google that. To make such a dusty, like, I don't understand what is animating these women to come out in defense of, and like, oh, bombshell evidence, his DNA wasn't on the gun. They presented that in court. We knew that during the court. There was a second round of testing during the court. We all knew that his DNA was not found. It was not conclusive that his DNA was on the gun. We knew that. By the way, I'm not relitigating this. I'm not going through fact by fact. I'm just pointing out what she said are like bombshell evidence that was suppressed. This is the bombshell evidence that was suppressed. We're not even 2 minutes into the video.
if he shot it 5 times, his DNA would conclusively be there. Not to mention,
that is not true. His DNA wouldn't conclusively be there if he shot it 5 times. What are you talking about? Mind you, so no one shot the gun. Casper the friendly dusty ghost, shot the gun. Because apparently no one's DNA was on the gun. The gun was shot. Who shot the gun is a good gun shotter. Like, I don't understand. Mind you, there's an argument that he was wrestling with Kelsey to take the gun. Therefore, he would have touched the gun, yet there is still no DNA on the gun. Even in the best case scenario where he didn't shoot the gun, but he took it from Kelsey, he would have then touched the gun, but no DNA was still on the gun. Therefore, because you have the gun and you touch the gun does not mean your DNA is on the gun. She's going to repeat that he tried to take the gun from Kelsey.
Yeah, I watched a TikTok video from a guy defending Tory. He said he doesn't like the first quote fact on the Tory Lanez website was that Megan lied to the police about stepping in glass, and he was like, I don't trust anyone who lies. And Tory Lanez has like 15 different stories about what happened that night. He wrestled the gun from Kelsey. Kelsey shot the gun while he was in the car. He shot the gun, but he was just shooting at the ground, not at her feet. Nobody fired the gun. It fired itself. Meg fired the gun at him. The bullets waited 5 years to shoot him inside of the prison. There was no stabbing. The 14 wounds were from the gun that she fired all those years ago. He has 15 different stories, but this didn't stop him from believing Tory Lanez, just Meg, her one lie to protect him. So I don't know. This video is getting weird.
You suffer me sound dumb. If you wanted to come up, you can. You can. Because apparently owning a gun means your DNA will be on the gun. So come up, explain how you knew by owning a gun that his DNA would be on the gun if he shot it 5 times. Come explain yourself. You won't, but because this is such a duh. Yes, it would. That is, his DNA would be on the gun. I own a gun. Because you own a gun now, you're an expert in forensic science. Yeah. Because you own a gun, you're an expert in forensic science. Is that what you're telling me? I just know from your name this is Dusty. So, like, I'm going to save this comment. Let me know if you want to jump up. If you're feeling froggy, let me know if you feel froggy.
Several witnesses claim that it was actually Kelsey who fired the gun, not Tory. Now, if you don't know, Kelsey, who was Megan's friend at the time, got into an argument and a whole fight with Megan after she found out that Megan slept with Tory behind her back. And so they got into it, and that whole fight led to shots being fired. And the driver, Jaquan, said that he saw Kelsey with the gun.
How she knew? How does she know? Because she's making very weird conclusions without verifying them. She said the fight led to shots being fired. Who said that? Who said that? Where you got that from? By the way, this is where her bias showed initially where Petty pointed it out in like the first 3 words. But how did you get to this conclusion that the fight led to shots being fired? Who said that?
He said that in an affidavit. Also, Kelsey's bodyguard, Bradley James, actually said in an affidavit that he overheard Kelsey admitting to shooting the gun 3 times. She shot it in the air, and Tory tried to intervene by grabbing her hand, and it went off 2 more times. And on the body.
Okay, so you believe that Tory grabbed the gun and it fired 2 more times, but you're saying he never fired the gun and didn't touch the gun because his DNA wasn't on the gun. You see how that is weird and wild, and that you can in fact fire a gun without your DNA being on it? Mind you, if they don't submit that affidavit to the court, I don't care nothing about what that affidavit. I heard her say, ain't nobody got time for you what you heard. Where were you when you needed to testify?
Body cam footage, he told the police that he was just trying to help his girl. He called Megan his girlfriend.
Nah, I don't know that. I was just trying to help my girlfriend.
So if he said he was trying to help his girl, it kind of shows that he tried to intervene to prevent Kelsey from hurting Megan. That's what it seems.
Where did he say? Where did he said, I was trying to help my girl Megan? I don't remember. See, I did not hear that in the clip that was just played. I'm trying to intervene to help my girl. How you know the girl he's trying to help wasn't Kelsey? I hear him say Megan. I heard him say, I'm trying to help my girl Megan. This isn't. Let me know. I'm going back. Let me know if you heard him say, I'm trying to help my girl Megan.
And his girlfriend.
Nah, I don't know that. I was just trying to help my girlfriend.
So if he said he was trying to help his girl, it kind of shows that he tried to intervene to prevent Kelsey from hurting Megan. That's
Where, where, where did she hear that? Yeah, where did she hear that? Which girl was he trying to help? Now, maybe the full video says, I'm trying to help my girl Megan, because my girlfriend Megan, because what we heard was that Tory and Kelsey were together and Megan slept with Tory behind Kelsey's back. So it would be wild for Tory to be telling the police that his girlfriend was Megan, so therefore Kelsey is the one cheating. Well, okay, impressive. Because that made sense to you. That made sense to you. And even if he said he was trying to help his girlfriend, Megan, he would be lying since Megan is not his girlfriend. Because the whole story was that Megan cheated with Tory behind Kelsey's back. That was the story.
what it seems. Now, the important testimony was from the independent witness, Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly initially told the police and also told an investigator in another interview that he saw Megan and Kelsey fighting and he saw Kelsey shoot. Okay. Now, when he was on the stand, he was saying something different. And Tory Lanez's father feels like the prosecutors had something to do with his changed testimony. So it feels like there were some dirty games being played. But what he initially told the police is,
wait, side note, I don't like the fact that FD did a video on Beyonce when all this little stuff is going on. Shouldn't he be talking about the system trying to get another black man?
Wait, didn't
he
FD
saw
say
the girl
he doesn't?
Kelsey.
Didn't FD say he doesn't? We asked him directly, does he think providing cover for dangerous black men is dangerous? And he said no. But he made a. I didn't watch the Beyonce video. Was he saying something about like why following Beyonce is actually bad or something like that?
No.
I didn't watch it at all. Hopefully he
His
wasn't.
video on Beyonce was good.
Okay.
It was good.
I was like, that would be incredibly weird.
Oh yeah, we would be fighting till this day. It's crazy they think Tory Lanez is altruistic enough to take jail time to help some black woman. They really think he just doesn't want to be a snitch. Yeah, this makes absolutely no sense. This literally makes no sense. Combined with the call, oh, you've been a member for 47 months, Diani. Combined with the call of him apologizing to Kelsey and Megan. Like that.
I actually hear this a lot, like in different forms. Like if you bring up the rate of black men in prison, for example, I've heard like back to my face, people say a lot of black men are in prison because they get set up by women.
Sorry.
They're defending because their sisters go and send them to fight an abusive man and they get sent to like some like crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, I've heard that on here too. People say
They're just
that
defending women and end up in jail.
just ended up in jail. These people will lie at every corner, at every chance they get to protect men. And I just find that absolutely insane. I find that absolutely insane.
Now the women are doing it too. Well, not now.
No, yes, the women are doing it. And that's the part
not now specifically. It would be incorrect for me to say this just started.
Shoot, not Tory.
Yeah, he's saying the same. The gunfire
Right.
broke me up.
Where was it?
Right here.
It was coming from here.
No, they were on my side. The girl opened the door. Two girls fighting, and then they shot.
So the girl comes out of the rear passenger and she goes to the front passenger. And she opens up the car door?
Yeah.
And then what happens?
They're screaming and shouting at each other and they start fighting.
The two girls.
Yeah, I can see one like feet coming out trying to kick her and the other one's fighting, and then the passenger gets out. So basically the car stopped, the girl in the back got out, started screaming and shouting, ripped the door, pulled the door open, but pulled it so sort of viciously that's why I presume the driver got out. She starts screaming, she starts hitting the girl. The girl then had to start, her feet come out, she starts to kick the girl away. The passenger, they get out, they start fighting here. They start fighting. The driver comes round and tries to sort of break it up. It gets a bit more violent. And between them, the girl then climbs back into the front driver passenger seat.
Where's the shorter black guy?
He's in the back.
He's in the back of the car? Okay.
Then the gun, and the girl shoots into the gun. So the driver's door is open.
You're seeing the girl shoot? So you see the girl doing the shooting?
I see what appears to be the girl standing here and shooting into the car. That's what it looked like to me.
This evidence was very important, and I think
this evidence was very, guys, you're not gonna get alive. You woke up on Beyonce's Good Saturday Morning and decided to upload a disgusting, degenerate, useless video about evidence that everyone knew about that didn't exonerate him. The man trash, bin trash, in prison, getting stabbed, going to the hospital, and then going back to prison. I don't know what you want from us. What do you want from us, Impressive? What do you want? He in prison, girl. This is the demonic blackmail worship that I was talking about. There's been a trial and conviction. They won't accept it. No, they won't. Women out here literally leading the march to free Tory Lanez.
We also we can't ignore the possibility that the woman he saw shoot that gun was Tory Lanez. I looked up his height. It was dark. He could have been confused. He could have just saw a person of short stature and assumed it was a woman. There's no way a man could be that small, he could have said to himself. And then after seeing Tory Lanez in the light in the courtroom, he could have been like, oh, well, yeah, that could have been him, actually. In fact, she's taller. Like, he could have seen Meg the Stallion next to Tory Lanez, and he could have said, oh, actually, that short woman I saw, it could have been him, actually, now that I look at them next to each other. Could have been him who shot. He could have been that small woman I saw shoot, the tall woman. Because, like, we can't ignore the possibility. Like, if we want to talk about casting doubt, I want to cast doubt on this phone call.
Fine.
That's all.
Girl, this case has been it's done. It's over. We'll see what happened on appeal. If he get out, he get out. He's not going anywhere. They should deport him. Like, what do you mean? And nobody got tried. Y'all sitting up here talking about, oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Man was already convicted. Man been convicted. This man has been running amok, beating up August Alsina. This man has been a problem. Why does he have a gun as a felon out on probation? Like, why are y'all not talking about that?
I think this was a part of the evidence that was suppressed, but it definitely shows you that Megan and Kelsey were clearly lying. They lied about not fighting each other. They actually fought viciously. That's why they both got injuries. And Megan said that.
Not they both fought viciously. Where she got that? Was she the what if Impressive was there? I didn't think of this. Maybe she was there. Maybe she's lived in California and she was there. Because the way she's talking right now sounds like she was there. She had to have been there.
Somebody had to fire the gun. None of them did, apparently. Nobody in the car who was present did. Somebody had to. Maybe Impressive did.
Mind you, this is her unbiased take in her head.
One shooting when you have 3 witnesses who claim otherwise.
I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy. And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance. He started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yes, this nigga Tory shot me. You shot me.
You actually saw him holding the
Yes.
gun? Was anybody else standing next to him, or how was his positioning with it?
So it's the security guard driving, me and the passenger. Kelsey is behind me and Tory is behind the driver. So like he had to get over her to even shoot at me.
So was he out of the vehicle, or is it from
So
inside?
you know how you can like stand out of the car, like you're like standing over the door? That's how he was.
So like the door's open,
Yes.
and then he would be standing in the threshold, kind of almost,
But like over the window.
okay, but leaning over the window. So he's actually still
In the car.
but
Yeah.
kind of. Gotcha.
So when you hear Megan describe the incident, it doesn't really make sense, and it also doesn't line up with what the witnesses saw at all.
What part? What part doesn't make sense? What part of her testimony doesn't make sense? You just said it doesn't make sense, and you don't provide the argument for why it doesn't make sense. You just kind of said it. Yeah, oh, it didn't make sense. What part? Okay, it made sense to me. That leprechaun was moving all through that car. It made sense to me.
She's trying to think of it through the lens of a regular person. If you have kids, you know them little people they climbing all over the seats and through the back and front. Why you went off camera? And the people with children in the comments know exactly what I'm talking about too. And I'm not even joking. Anywhere but in that car seat where they're supposed to be. And I know he had a booster in there. Not the whole car seat, but like it's a little bitty thing that they sit in.
Yeah. We need to see the evidence for Meg's documentary. And now I'm thinking a Meg's cartoon documentary was right, where she was crawling away from. Wait, let me see if I still have my outline for that video that I did. Let me show y'all what happened. Please let me have this. Oh, Stray Kids becomes the new face of Gongcha. Period. I like Stray Kids. I like Felix in particular. Wait, do I not have it? I thought I saved all my videos. No, I have to find this.
Holly Bailey DDG collab with Tory Lanez over jail phone call. That's interesting. What's going on? What's going on in the feed today? Interesting headline.
Yeah, that's Oh wait, no, I don't want y'all to see my outline for things. Anyway. Sorry, I have to show y'all because I know I took a screenshot of this documentary. Yes. This is what Meg said happened. This is Tory Lanez. This is Tory Lanez. This Megan, in Megan's documentary, this is what Megan said happened. Well, yeah. So I'm gonna go with what Megan said. I'm not listening to Tory Lanez. I'm gonna go with what Megan said in the cartoon.
She claims that she was on the passenger side and she got out of the car, and then Tory hopped over from the back seat of the driver's side to the passenger side and started shooting at her. Well, Jaquan, who was the driver, said
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss everything Jaquan said. Everything Jaquan said. Everything Jaquan. Wait, what do you mean? It was the animated version. It was a cartoon. Megan put that in her documentary.
he saw both Megan and Kelsey get out the car and start fighting. He had to break up the fight, and Kelsey took the gun out. So he saw Kelsey with the gun in her hand. Also, Sean Kelly said the same story. He said he saw the girls get out and they were fighting viciously. And then he said Kelsey looked like she was the one firing the gun. So Megan's story is just not adding up. And
Looks like she was the one firing the gun is very different than I saw her firing the gun. Those are two very different statements. Those are two actually very different statements. Okay, impressive. Hang it up, girl. I don't know how much you're getting paid. I don't know if you're getting paid, but I think it's time to just let this go. You have failed in whatever defense. Maybe go to law school and then go defend him. I don't know. He might still be in there. If you go to law school now, he has like how many more years? Like 8? You can be done with the law school in 3 years, pass the bar, and go defend him. And if you go to California, where he is, you can literally do the bar without going to school, and you could go be his defense attorney. I have faith in you.
He has 5 more years in jail, but the judge is considering adding on an additional 4 due to his new evidence. He said this is particularly egregious.
Yeah.
An insult to the legal system.
Yeah. when they find out that he put together that whole stabbing, talking about he had 2 collapsed lungs. How you got 2 collapsed lungs? What's in saying this? How you got 2 collapsed lungs talking? That don't even make sense to me.
How can a lung collapse? It's not a building. Only buildings collapse.
I don't know. How are you talking with 2 collapsed lungs? Let's look this up. Let me Google this. Let me do Google. Because Google AI is that girl. It's not. Can you speak with 2 collapsed lungs? No, it is not possible to talk with 2 collapsed lungs. How Tory Lanez doing all this talking about God saved him, God did this, God did that. How you gonna talk with 2 collapsed lungs? Why are you talking? When both lungs collapse, known as bilateral. Y'all not gonna get me caught up in here talking about the scientific term I know nothing about. Google AI say you can't talk with 2 collapsed lungs.
Wait until you find out that the person who set up the hit was Daystar Peterson.
That's the daddy out here talking about he's in good spirit. He has 2 collapsed lungs, but he said God helped him and God helped him to breathe. So God, I don't want to take Sin content, but like that's what I was thinking, but Sin said it. So God helped you talk with 2 collapsed lungs, but didn't prevent you from getting the Anyway, I'm done. Because that don't make no sense to me.
she didn't have anybody to corroborate her story either. Kelsey.
What do you mean she didn't have anyone to corroborate her story? There were witnesses during the trial. Did she review the transcripts for the trial? Did she engage with anything that happened with the trial? To say there was no witness.
No, she went to the website that they made on GoDaddy.com, where anyone can make a website for $3.59. And she read the text that they made in Microsoft Word. This was proof enough. This was bombshell evidence. Groundbreaking.
The fact that she came out here talking about he was stabbed 14 times, and his dusty daddy talking about he had 2 collapsed lungs while telling him about what happened is wild. That's wild.
She gave her own version of the events when she did that private interview with the prosecutors, and then she went on the stand, pled the fifth, and got her immunity, which is kind of something that a guilty person would do. I'm just saying. And
okay, Miss Lawyer. Okay, Miss Lawyer. Absolutely not. If you are getting me to testify against someone in a trial where I was at the scene of the crime, please note I will be requesting immunity. Point blank period. I will be requesting immunity, and you should probably request immunity also as a bargaining tool for whatever you're doing. The fact that she thinks this means you're guilty is also nasty work. You're not about to get me caught up. I'm not saying she's innocent. I don't know what happened that night. All I know is Tory's in jail for it. And I have not seen any evidence to suggest that he should not be.
then she said something different. She was acting like she didn't know what happened that night. So Kelsey wasn't a good witness to back up Megan's story. And also, Megan's bodyguard, Justin Edison, did not testify on her behalf. He didn't even show up to court.
But one key witness has been noticeably absent. Her former bodyguard, Justin Edison, missing days before he was set to testify. His father, Harold, speaking out overnight.
I want the DA and Meg Thee Stallion to leave my family alone.
Our hope is for peace for the Edison family and that Justin is safe.
So Justin, being another important witness who received that text from Kelsey saying, help, Tory shot Meg, did not show up and confirm the text message. And he wasn't missing. He just...
Wait, where are the Tory Lanez followers coming from? Where are all these Tory Lanez followers coming from? Y'all go get a life. Please leave my chat and go get a life. Actually, go leave my chat and go get him out of prison. Go get him out of prison. Isn't there like a petition for y'all to sign? No, y'all need to go donate some money somewhere. Y'all are Jamaicans filled with y'all call me next like Desiree and Rock Nation. And Megan right now, her own daughter just told y'all over Twitter right now, girl, if you don't go get hooked on phonics, you're gonna get time. You got time to write all of this and not get hooked on phonics. It's nasty work.
Tory Lanez had a loss of just a pound. He would have been able to squeeze through them bars behind that toilet with them other inmates. Right. We wouldn't be talking about this.
All this energy. It is wild to me to be this xenophobic over this grammar. This grammar is nasty work. The next time you drag someone, just use emojis so they can't drag you. just go ahead and use emojis.
Was doing another job somewhere else. So clearly he didn't want to be there. It's just weird that Megan had nobody to back up her story. In fact, Justin's family was asking Megan and the DA to leave them alone. So it seems like they really didn't want anything to do with Megan at all. Now, witnesses have alleged that Kelsey was the one who fired the gun, but there are questions being asked. Was Megan assaulted with the firearm or was she injured by glass? Now, I think two things can be true. She could have been injured by gunfire, but we also know for a fact that she was injured by glass.
Why are you laughing?
She got shot and then she stepped on a rake. They both happened. I didn't know what she was about to say. I thought she was going to say she stepped in a glass and then they shot her or something.
Girl, she got video proof She got video. She gonna try to give us video proof that it was a glass in a minute. Most black people don't believe that black male worship is real. We're seeing it on the yes. It is fully real.
They
It's fully real.
Shot a beer bottle, and the beer bottle broke and shattered the glass, went flying into her foot. I don't know. I have no idea what she was about to show us.
Mind you, the doctors have found bullet fragments in her feet, right? But okay, girl.
Nicki Minaj rapped about bullet fragment. I don't know what she was saying on the live, but if people take what she say as true, so I just assumed there were fragments found.
Nicki said, "I'm upon your good foot." I wonder how Nicki doing.
You was crashing out. I remember that. She was crashing out. All because she married. Never mind. That's not what this video is about.
Nicki will never get over who she married. It is what it is. That was the end.
Too. She said she was injured by glass. The police said it. One of the doctors who examined her said she was injured by glass, and another doctor said that her wounds were superficial with no fractures, which some might say, well, if she wasn't fractured or did it.
Oh, did that just say minimal residue shrapnel?
Yep. She just not gonna read it though.
The evidence that she wasn't shot by a bullet.
It says
anyway, here's the bullet shrapnel in her foot to prove that she wasn't shot by a bullet. And it might have been a bullet or what's it called when it ricochet or you get hit by.
I think that's what happened. I think it was a ricocheting.
That's wild. So I'm curious. Like I have no idea what's going on. Does she just?
She does not know what a shrapnel is. She did not go to Google the word shrapnel. So she just said, describe wound as superficial and cleanly closed. X-ray showed no fractures, minimal residual.
So you do think she read it? You don't think she like pulled together this stuff and this is just like drama farming or something like that?
I think she's defending Tory Lanez and she's reading the evidence. Because if I see, let's say I'm not in the military and I don't know what like residual shrapnel means, right? I'm going to say, wait, let me just Google what this is. Because like, I'm not going to like, this was.
Wait. Do the people in your comment section, are they military?
No.
I assume they know what shrapnel is.
No, but even if you don't, you would kind of like, because
shrapnel is not some I need to be pursuing my doctorates and I'm writing my thesis and for my PhD. No. I feel like you can have your GED and we know what shrapnel is.
No, I don't think so. I know what it is because I play like random like shooting games when I was younger. Well, not even younger, like a couple years ago. But I don't know that this is like something anyone would know or everyone would know.
What's Mango Nation?
Huh?
You heard me. What's Mango Nation? What is that?
I don't know. But I do know that if I see residual anything, I'm going to Google it because I need to be clear what it is before I say there was nothing.
So is her channel like superficial generally, or is it for this specifically? Like, does she go in depth?
Like it's with this specifically. I think she just did not like. I think generally she might be good because I like her celebrity gossip generally, but like this feels so like surface level and like biased in a way that does not deepen the research.
But you believe generally she's well researched, thinks critically.
No. I don't think she's well researched. I think the topic she talks about, you don't have to be well researched for. So like did Diddy, not Diddy, but like, did Beyonce perform well when she was doing this or that? I don't know, something like that. It's never like an analytical look at anything. It's just a review of things that happened.
Fractures, which some might say, well, if she wasn't fractured or didn't have any deep wounds, how can she be shot? Well,
so she really did not. She did not look at the residual. Like I think yeah, you're right. She did not read. She did not read that sentence. She did not read that sentence. She did not read that sentence. She did not. She did not read that sentence.
But even if you didn't read the sentence, like, I feel like there's a back and forth between she stepped in glass, Kelsey shot her. Like, even if you didn't read the sentence, aren't you aware of you're contradicting yourself when you're making the video?
Yeah. Oh, Kelsey shot her, but she was not shot. It is glass. Yeah, that's clear. There's a clear contradiction. Yes. But it doesn't matter because the goal is to make sure that you know it wasn't Tory Lanez. So whether she was shot by Kelsey or she stepped in glass and no one shot her, ultimately Tory Lanez didn't do it. So it does not matter about the contradiction. And the people in defense of Tory Lanez will not investigate that contradiction. All they want to hear is that Tory Lanez did not do it. They don't care how you get to that conclusion once you get to that conclusion.
Yeah, I've never seen a master's degree or a bachelor's degree on Tory Lane's side. Never. Not one. I think because the defense again is casting doubt. And maybe, like, since you work in legal, you would understand better than me about proving something beyond a reasonable doubt obviously is important. So if there's doubt in a person's guilt, then
they would get not if there's reasonable doubt. If you can prove reasonable doubt, then you would get off. They couldn't do that, so he's in jail. He's in prison.
But there's not like a consistent story anywhere. There's just anything that they can latch onto, and it's all over the place. There's not like here's why I believe Tory is innocent, because there's clearly glass fragments based on these doctors' testimony and this medical evidence. There's clearly glass here. They can't do that because if they went and investigated, that's not the case. So instead of doing that, they throw out maybe it's glass, maybe it's, and don't you think it's funny how Rock Nation and he was just about to buy NBC and he was going to expose the rap industry. So they just throw a bunch of doubt everywhere and hope someone latches onto something, as opposed to having a coherent story. So I guess maybe she's just in defense and not like.
Yeah, but you couldn't do that. And the judge, there would be a problem because, yes, while your duty as the defense attorney is to poke holes in the prosecution case, you do have to tell a coherent story. Your narrative has to be cohesive and make sense.
I thought the prosecutor just has to tell a coherent story.
No. Your defense has to be coherent. Like, you cannot be contradicting yourself. You have to remember that the people in the jury that are listening are also human beings with reasoning capacity. And you cannot, on one hand, say, I am here to prove that she was not shot. Also, Kelsey shot her. Because those are contrary. So there is an argument that she was not shot, but if she was shot, Kelsey shot her. No, you can't do that because the truth is she either was or was not shot. You can't claim both. She either was or was not shot. And so you are not going to be credible as a defense, and the people are going to reject your argument. If you're arguing on one hand, she was not shot, it was glass. We can prove that it was glass. Here's a video. There's the glass. She stepped on the glass. Doctor said it was glass. And then you have another witness come up, and then that witness is trying to prove that it wasn't glass, rather it was a ricochet, but Tory didn't shoot the gun, Kelsey did. At that point, we now have an issue with the defense. The defense is being an idiot. Like, the defense is not making sense. And that's not reasonable doubt. Now, obviously, yes, you want to throw crap at the wall and see what sticks, but you can't do it in such an incoherent way.
I'm saying, my thing is, I feel like the prosecutor, I'm like a regular guy, I don't work at legal. I feel like the prosecutor has to make the coherent story about what happened.
Yes.
And the defense goal is just to attack that story and poke holes, not necessarily to remain coherent themselves. Although I understand, like, obviously you can't make two separate stories yourself as the defense.
Yeah.
But I don't think your job as the defense doesn't seem like crafting story. It seems like
because
responding
I
to
think
the...
what you're doing, though, is you're ignoring burden shifting. So once the prosecutor makes their argument, the burden shifts. The first burden is on the prosecution to make their argument and the claim. The burden then shifts to the defense to dispute. In you disputing it, yes, you're trying to poke holes, but you have to be coherent in your poking of holes into the defense argument. I do think, as a general matter, this might be too sort of in the trenches, but I do think it's important. What you're arguing has to make sense. I think that's like the fundamental premise on both the prosecutor and the defense.
Okay. If I don't have a story as the defense, let's say there's no story for me to make sense or not make sense. I don't have a story at all. I don't know where my client was. I don't know where he wasn't. I have no story at all. But all I know is that the prosecutor's story doesn't make sense based on these holes. I mean, I guess for me to have holes in their story, I have to have some story about my client.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take your hypo as it is. Yes, you can and should be making holes in the story without creating your own narrative, if that's what you need to do. But what you cannot do, and should not, rather, you can do it, but you should not do, and it's a weak way to argue, is in your poking of holes, you become inconsistent.
Understood.
Another doctor named Dr. Milton Little said that she had bilateral gunshot wounds, and also he removed 3 fragments from her foot, and he gave the fragments to the police. But the weird thing about this is,
before she gets to the weird thing, you do realize what she's doing. She's trying to make it seem like those doctors' assessments were inconsistent when they weren't. When one used sharpnel and the other removed the fragments, those aren't inconsistent. There were leftover residue of some kind of gunshot or casing in her foot. Like, they are not inconsistent. Those 2 doctors' report aren't inconsistent. And the only reason she thinks they're inconsistent is because she didn't fully read the sentence in the first report, or she did not Google what sharpnel meant.
I think his defense team is relying on the public to be ignorant.
Yes, but I don't know that it's ignorance. I believe it is they're wanting the public to want him to be free and ignore evidence. I don't know that ignorance implies a lack of knowledge. I actually do think we know he did it. Or at least we think he did it.
the fragments went missing. At least that's what the detective Ryan Stogner stated. He was asked, now the bullet fragments which were allegedly removed from Megan's ankles, they can't be located, correct? He said, correct. I find that to be very, very odd, honestly. It's also odd that none of the doctors were called to testify in court. But here are some of the clips that claim that Megan was injured by glass.
Move back. Oh, she cut herself. She cut herself when she stepped out. She cut herself when she stepped out. It happened, so that's all we have so far.
So nothing happened in the vehicle.
No, we don't have any casings. No.
Okay, from what you've been told, do we know how she got cut?
I believe when she stepped down, there's a glass.
She dropped a glass bottle, and then I think she stepped on it and cut herself. Getting out of the vehicle.
Okay.
What's that? Do you think we can go to jail? And I don't know. We're trying to figure it all out. Not go to jail. Okay.
I cannot have that on my image.
Okay.
You got shot?
I didn't get shot.
Oh, you did it?
Okay. I mean, no fuss. So how did that happen to you? Glass? Where?
Where we were coming from? We were just one ball stepping over there. Every time I right there, I just stepped on glass the other day.
Now, Megan did say she.
So everyone lying about her getting shot. All of the every single report that she posted with a doctor indicate that there's something related to a bullet found in her foot, and so now it's glass. She's just gonna ignore all of the doctors lying, the people who testified lying. Everyone is lying. The police lying. Everyone is lying in order to get Tory Lanez in person.
Wait, so when she stepped out the car, she starts limping. Could it be that maybe there's like a bullet in her foot? And maybe that's why she's limping.
No, she was limping and then she got cut and limped. And therefore, it is the glass that she got cut after she was limping that caused her to limp. But like in anticipation for the cut, she started limping.
Yes, that seems complicated and untrue. So clearly that's the correct statement.
She initially lied about what happened because she didn't want to get in trouble with the police.
Soon as the police tell us all get out the motherfucking car, the police is really aggressive. You think I'm about to tell the police that we, us black people, got a gun in the car? You want me to tell the laws that we got a gun in the car so they can shoot all of us up? I'm thinking the doctors is the police, so I'm still trying not to tell them.
Not go to jail. Okay.
I cannot have that on.
Okay, girl, I see a bunch of Tory Lanez people in the car. Y'all want to come up? Let me know if you want to come up. Let me know if you want to come up, because the thing is, I want to drag you to your face. I mean, I want to talk to you respectfully. I need to speak to you respectfully about what is happening in the world.
On my image.
Okay.
Now, I can understand Megan not really saying what happened because being stopped by the police is a scary situation. It is. And also, she didn't want to go to jail. And she did say she is concerned about her image. That makes sense too. Now, Tory's legal team put together a whole website called 36hourslater.com. Y'all could go there and look through it if you want to. There was some suppressed evidence that wasn't presented in court that could have vindicated Tory. I mean, it's clear.
What evidence could have vindicated Tory? You can stop saying there are evidence there. You are doing a video. This is lazy content creation, or you are lying. Either you are lazy or you're lying. Because if you are doing this video already, why not just go through the evidence that would have vindicated the exculpatory evidence? Just go through them for us.
Yeah, like remember the Holly DDG stuff? I remember watching people go through Holly's evidence. They pulled up the court documents. It's like a bunch of pages. There were pictures, and I think some pictures of her tooth were chipped and her claims and stuff that she went to court for, actual court documents and stuff. And then DDG's evidence is like, I guess he was talking abusively to some AI of her, and that's his evidence that he's a good father and partner and not abusive. And like I was gonna say when you said for the Tory Lanez defenders to come up, I don't think they will, because I argued with some of them on TikTok.
Wait, why didn't you tell me you were on TikTok? Go ahead.
I was so my issue was I was seeing a lot of women going back and forth with Tory Lanez defenders in comment section, and I was basically telling them not to go back and forth with them because or it might have been DDG or both, because you can present like court documents and medical evidence and like footage in 4K. It can be in like the clearest, most visible evidence that you can have. It can be the most robust evidence that you can have. This person can be found guilty of all charges. Like you could be present, you personally could be present and see it in front of your own eyes, and they will still like just defend it. But then their evidence is like they saw a 15-second TikTok clip that said he's a good father, don't send him to jail, and they will defend him in the comment section for hours. They'll go back and forth with you. But to actually come up here and try to defend him, like to actually try to present their case with legitimate evidence, I don't think they could do it. I don't think they would actually click the link and come up.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. I don't think so. I keep saying it, but I know they're not going to do it. I even talked to I went on Impressive channel on, actually, let me try to find this. I went on her channel and I was in the comment section. I probably should have looked back on my comment because it was causing a problem. She might have deleted my comment. I think she might have deleted my comment because on DDG, I was like, why are you talking? She was like, oh, he's such a good father. And for the life of me, I don't know where she got DDG was a good father. Like people just be saying things. Oh, here it is, I think.
He plays with his baby on stream for 15 minutes every 2 weeks.
Oh, girl, period. This is my comment, but this is why I don't like being messy over in other people's channel, because why is there 1,000 likes?
Oh, I was looking at that video when I was trying to find her views on stuff.
Wait. She probably don't like me on her channel now, because this was on a different video. It's why do everyone keep saying they know he loves his son? We don't know that, not from his actions. Stop giving credit where there is none. This is about DDG. They're dragging girl. All right, well, the comment was doing well. It was doing what it needed to do.
To me, that Tory did not get a fair trial at all. But even still, a lot of people won't believe Tory just because they made up their mind not to. So I think at this point,
No. We don't believe him because he was found guilty and thrown into prison. What do you mean? What do you oh my God. What do you mean we won't believe him because we made up our minds not to? We made up our minds when he was thrown.
A lot of people don't believe Meg because she's a Black woman, and they've made up their mind not to. That's what I believe, actually.
How do you fix your face to say this?
I mean, it's clear to me that Tory did not get a fair trial at all. But even
Hey, so now she's an expert. She's a legal expert. It's clear to her that Tory did not get a. Why did Tory rest their case if they didn't get a fair trial?
and look through it if you want to. There was some suppressed evidence that wasn't presented in court that could have vindicated Tory. I mean, it's clear to me that Tory did not get a fair trial at all. But even still, a lot of people won't believe Tory just because they made up their mind not to. So I think at this point, we have to see the footage. And I will say this, if there is footage and if the footage shows that Tory is innocent, then a lot of people are going to be in trouble, not just Megan and Kelsey, but the DA, the prosecutors.
So you think Tory Lanez have footage that he is in? You well, you think Tory Lanez and Tory Lanez's team have footage that he is innocent, and when that come out, we all gonna be in trouble. Release the footage, because that would be wild. It would be wild to be sitting on footage that is exculpatory. It is.
You didn't see his teams. You didn't scroll all the way to the bottom of the website, did you? Where it says 268 hours later, we will reveal the footage that exonerates our client and releases him from prison. No, don't scroll all the way to the bottom. I'm joking. The exonerating evidence is actually the end of his prison trial. He will have served all his times. That would be the end of his sentence.
This is the innocent man. Oh my God.
Like, this is crazy. From free I went to freetorylanes.com and read all of their compelling evidence that they typed in Microsoft Word, and they put some pictures that they got from Google Images. It was very compelling and mind-blowing.
Mind you, they're just cutting up and putting things up there that like literally have no meaning outside of what we already know. Like, there's nothing on the website that is like, oh, this is new, this is important. Tasha K posted a body cam video from that night, and Megan says she didn't get shot. She got stepped on glass. Why are you telling me this? This was known at the time of the trial. We know that Megan lied about getting shot and said she stepped on glass. She also told us why she did it. Was this not known? Wait, what are you doing, Sunny Days? The fact that y'all down there being weak and useless in the comments and not coming up here, you are not telling me you want to come up so you can explain yourself. Tasha K posted body cam of her saying she was not shot. We know. She said it. Like, you're just sitting up there being useless.
I'm genuinely confused because, like, are people not aware of, like, these are all the initial details. We are just revisiting the exact same thing that we already knew, like 3 years ago. Like, the exact same, with no new details at all. And it's not like the people defending him, I already knew 3 years ago they were just defending him because they don't like women and they want to defend black men. But like the content creators who covered this years ago and are now covering it today, I haven't seen Tasha K's video, but I would be like surprised if she was like, oh my God, this new groundbreaking evidence. Meg lied to the police, or not lied to the police, but said to the police that she stepped in glass. This is new evidence that we've never seen before. I would be surprised. I haven't seen the video, but I would be like,
this is so fundamental to the case that, like, Sunny Days, I am so sorry. I'm going to apologize up front, but it is wild that you did not know this. Because the whole point was that she lied about stepping on glass until she was getting dragged, until then she came out and confessed what happened to her. And she was dragged mercilessly through these internet streets for lying. And I even did a video pointing out that she lied about her ex-boyfriend again because her ex-boyfriend cheated on her. They were fighting. The police came and she lied and said the ex-boyfriend did not hit her. And then the ex-boyfriend said, but she hit me. And so she got arrested and said, this feels like something that Meg has repeatedly done by covering for these men. But she was getting dragged for not telling the truth about shot. And they said, if you didn't say it was a gunshot in the first instance, you can come back and tell the truth. Yeah, these standards be really killing me. yeah, the community standards really kill me.
I watched a video of Tory getting allegedly getting stabbed in the prison, and right after he got up and ran and jogged away. People who get stabbed 14 times, they don't get up and jog like that. I don't believe it happened actually.
His lungs collapsed and he was calling for help.
Calling for help. Oh no, my 2 lungs just collapsed, and then right after, just get up and jog a nice brisk jog away. Come on now. And you believe it actually happened? People were talking about Meg. They saw Meg running the day after she got shot. Well, I want to know about this Tory Lanez thing. Who get up and jog with 2 collapsed lungs? You know, jogging is a what is it? Aerobic? What is it called? The one where you have to breathe a lot, cardio. Whatever. Yeah, those exercises where you be on the treadmill and stuff like that. Use the lungs a lot. And you're telling me he's breathing in and the air going straight out the lungs into his body.
The Lord was helping him. the Lord was helping him. So the Lord did everything but stop him from getting stabbed 14 times.
The doctor actually, did you read the, hold on, let me pull up the article. So the doctor working on his collapsed lung, when they were operating on it, when they were stitching his lung, the doctor reached inside one and they found a Bible. It was actually, it was intact. It was untouched, completely intact. You ever seen those stories?
I saw them story where they said everything burned except the Bible. You're like, all right, girl.
Wife and children died in a house fire. They found in the nightstand a Bible.
So the Bible was saved, and y'all think that is a miracle, and y'all are praising that, but all them people who died in the house fire, just like, I mean, but this Bible though, they all died. Everyone else died, but this Bible was not burned. Look at God. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I am good.
People are going to be in trouble, not just Megan and Kelsey, but the DA, the prosecutors, the LAPD, all the media companies who are running a smear campaign against Tory, and also Rock Nation's owners, Jay-Z and Desiree Perez. They are going to be in trouble. And
can you imagine Desiree Perez and Rock Nation, Jay-Z? They're this powerful. They're this powerful, and they think Tory Lanez is about to come out and like stick it to Rock Nation, and like this is an insane. If you think they're that powerful, it's over. Just hang it up, stick a fork in him, and call him done. Well, I guess don't stick a fork because he was stabbed 19 times, but 14. It's just over. If Rock Nation is as powerful and can do what you said they did, at this point, just hang it up. I was just thinking, just hang it up.
I'm trying to see their involvement, like the so he like, what's his involvement with Rock Nation? Did he like decline a contract with them or something?
Apparently, because Megan is signed to Rock Nation, it means Rock Nation came in and did away with Tory Lanez's career.
Oh my God, I was shot by a man who works at Applebee's. Applebee's is out to get me. Big Applebee's doesn't want you to know this. They don't want you to know this.
Yo, you want to know what's so toxic? The next couple minutes of this video is her going into Desiree Perez's life and how she tried to get her daughter locked away and break up her daughter's marriage and use the power that she had to destroy her daughter. Nothing else is about Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. Everything else is about Desiree Perez. You want to know something insane? She could have done this video and it would have been an impressive video if she was talking about Desiree Perez and Rock Nation and the power that they wield and show the daughter and all of that. Nothing after this point is useful, only to manipulate you into thinking that Rock Nation and Desiree Perez have a ton of power and they exercise that power, and that is to connect their exercise of power generally to their exercise of power against Tory Lanez. That is all that is done. This is bias reporting. This is trash reporting. Trash. Everything from this point on is about Desiree Perez, Desiree Perez's daughter, and how Desiree Perez used her power to try to lock up her daughter's husband.
Is that her daughter's husband?
Huh?
Is that a ski mask or a beard?
Oh, a beard. I think it's a beard.
Okay. I was like, all right.
That is kind of insane.
Yeah, you have to do a connection there. I can't say that Applebee's is out to get me because some of their employees weaponize their power against people. I have to make the connection between them targeting me specifically. Can't just say that a company's corrupt, so they're targeting me specifically. Still has to be some connection there.
This is why you can't pick side in toxic relationships. He's in prison. Like, I'm sick and tired of these people pretending like that man not in prison for shooting someone.
You would think, because this isn't like new, the idea that Black men are being unfairly locked up and there are conspiracies by record labels and other big companies to unfairly weaponize the justice system against Black men specifically. You would think they would be on their best behavior. I feel like
you would think that, except it's only used as an excuse for bad behavior. It literally has no meaning. Saying like, it's like using Emmett Till. They only use Emmett Till to point out after a man has been dragged by a white woman and never before.
Yeah, they never use Emmett Till when they say white women are more feminine or something like that. Just for that. So have you I think I saw one person use Emmett Till for Tory Lanez. And one woman, I don't know what she used it for, but she invoked the spirit of Emmett Till. She got a lot of backlash for it.
I ain't seen it.
Megan lied, period. She needs to be held accountable. What does that mean?
Go hold her accountable.
Oh, well, Tory lied too. He said,
wait, she said indigenous. Let me go check the. Sorry, I have to know. I ain't going to. Like, these people are wild. Wait, what? This is insane, and people need to know the truth. Why is a lady stalking her daughter? Like, what's wrong? So a bunch of women out here. Tory had no reason to shoot anyone. He didn't have any reason to punch August Alsina in the face. The little gremlin is a problem. Has been a problem. I think all three, if them agreed to this plan, none of them expected it to go this far. So
okay. All right. So I'm gonna get out, and you put the bottle over there, And then Kelsey, you grab the gun, then give it to me. Bodyguard, you turn that way. That way, when you say you didn't see anything, it's not technically a lie. Then you call the police. You text the bodyguard. Now, this way we can frame Rock Nation. What is the plan? What is he talking about?
We gonna plan to pretend like we didn't know you were cheating behind our back, and then we gonna get in a fight with physical bruises, and then we gonna come out, someone gonna get shot, and that's just that on that. This is PR.
Oh, when they say these three, they didn't mean Tory, Meg, and Kelsey.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe they meant Kylie too, because remember they were at Kylie's pool party. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
These words are too small for me to read.
Impressive. Thank you for being objective. You presented both sides clear. Yo, this is so insane. This is absolutely insane. This is like, thank you for being objective. You presented both sides clearly and let us decide for ourselves. And she liked it. And she had the audacity. She had the unmitigated gall to like this comment. Like, how dare you? You know what you did. How you gonna like this comment? I'm so sorry. This is pissing me off. Why would you like this comment? You presented both sides clearly and let us decide for ourselves. Especially with the newly is a nasty word. Surface suppressed evidence. It is sincerely. I think this person is not real. I think this is impressive.
Media literacy is declining.
Well, I guess she's real. I guess it's a real black woman. I guess it was. So all of these are real black women. Got it. I don't care what this man got to say.
What's done?
Yeah, no, these are real black women.
Always comes to light.
These are real black women, so if you thought these weren't real black women, they were.
Yeah, you got to check to see if they're Russian. Ever since I looked at that study.
We all know Kelsey was the shooter and Meg was definitely injured by glass. Okay, so she shot, but none of them hit.
He doesn't know his story yet. He hasn't finished making it up. I think both can be true. She got shot and stepped on glass.
Meg Desiree, Rock Nation need to go to jail. Quick question: how you gonna put Rock Nation in jail? How you gonna put Rock? How you gonna put Rock Nation in jail?
I think corporations are like a social construct. Woke. Putting woke ideology in jail.
If Tory didn't want to go to jail, he should have spoken up and said, Kelsey shot Meg. All this now, and he still ain't getting out. And if he does, his career is over, and back to Canada he goes. Next caller. Period. I mean, like that. Why he went to apologize to the... Why did he tweet? Period. All right, well, that was cute. Any final thoughts? I was going to go through the whole, he got stabbed in prison, but I don't care.
You don't care? He has 2 collapsed lungs and you don't care?
He talking, girl. The Lord saved his lungs, so he's fine. He is fine.
The air just passing through. Skipping his alveoli, going straight into his muscles.
Good oxygen circulation. So the jury worked for Rock Nation too, huh? Period. Doing voir dire, they only pick Rock Nation.
What power did Tory have to be on Jay-Z radar to want to take him down? Tory fans lack common sense. Meg was shot at and could have lost her life.
And they don't care.
Billions of dollars or something. Jay-Z and them people worry about Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez TV show on Instagram was competing with Rock Nation. Tory Lanez was gonna buy CBS.
Tory Lanez net worth $1 to $2 million. Yeah, I don't think they were worried about him.
The Tory Lanez is definitely gonna buy CBS.
So what had happened was Meg was eating fries and got ketchup on her fake foot. She got a text from Rock Nation telling her to get out the car. The Rock Nation sniper was on the roof, ready to frame him.
Yeah, so I said CBS. He can't afford NBC. CNN. All right. Any final thoughts?
My friend makes shirts. It's a black woman with a rose on her head. The rose is her head. It looks very cute. I'm not going to promote the brand, just the shirt.
I had a bad joke, but it's not. It's too soon.
No, please. I've taken time off of your show to tell bad jokes before. It's your turn.
I'm going to hop up on my good foot.
I told my therapist the jelly donut joke. She didn't appreciate it.
Demons is a CIA and Jay-Z in disguise. Very cute, so very demure. All right, I'm going to end it, but I'm going to drop the link for anyone in the chat who wants to come up here and defend Tory Lanez. If you feel like you want to defend Tory Lanez and you think he did not get a good representation by us, you can come up and I will put you on the big screen and play the violin while you talk.
I just want to thank Meg Thee Stallion for the $60 million she paid me to do this live stream.
I'm trying to figure out why it is that people feel the need to defend Tory Lanez. I get that people don't like black women, but I don't fully understand. I don't. Why would you make yourself look like an idiot online to defend something?
Do you think they're smart?
Do I think that? No.
Because when you say make yourself look like an idiot, it implies
they don't know they look like an idiot.
implies that, I have to make yourself look like something you are. Might just be a case of being yourself. It might be a question of asking them, well, where did you go to school? Did you go to school? When did you go to school? Has it been a while? I forgot arithmetic. Maybe you forgot critical thinking. Could be.
You guys really got to like something from CV. You mean?
Oh yeah. CVS is it's a grown-up store. It takes a lot of guts to read that long receipt. A
lot. She was being objective theorist. Period. So no one's coming up. Let me hit the goodbye button and then we can come wrap it up and go home. I mean, I'm home. I said go home.
Went to what's her name? I'll remember, I guess, after you play the thingy. Went to the same school as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Why did you say Umar?
Oh yeah, I need to wait. Hold up? I didn't know. Went to Dr. Umar's school, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Book tour? Oh wait, hold up. I didn't know you could book a tour Tuesday at 6 p.m. Oh, this is like a fake. Why would he put this fake? Well, this man is this man is so insidious. Just waste my time. Why would you even put a tour page?
Are you going on tour?
I would if he had a tour, because that implies I can actually go and see the school, walk around, tour, hide a secret camera. And then I go to the page and it's like events coming soon. Tuesday, general meeting, 6 p.m. So I'm like, oh, this is real. Thursday, fundraising committee meeting, 12 p.m. in the teacher's lounge. Saturday, study groups, 2 p.m. cafeteria, and they have little descriptions, and then like it's not real at all.
Wait, what do you mean? Can you send it to me? Let me pull it up.
I don't think it's real. Hold up here. I was like, oh, you can schedule a tour, and there is no option to. It's like fake.
Make a donation.
Absolutely
not. Wait, let me see something.
Psych, give us money.
Absolutely not. Events coming soon. Wait, it didn't say, like, they don't have. Why would you? I'm confused. What did you think this was?
I was thinking, this is what happens after you click on book tour. It brings you to this page.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, maybe I can tour like something. I don't know. Am I going to be touring the cafeteria, or am I going to be touring the teacher's lounge? What is this? Nope.
The tables in the cafeteria will be open for study group. Please check in with the front desk to
Fan fiction. Man's writing Wattpad. Enroll. Oh, wow. Let me see what happens when you enroll. Oh, you can give them all your information.
Extraordinary, a great American biography of the most important Black American of the 19th.
Not the AI. Is that AI or is that a real person?
I think that was AI. But I'm trying to figure out home, events, contact, enroll courses. Let's do that. Foreign language, history, art. Wait, is that all the courses being offered? Wait, only for you.
They also have church.
Wait. Foreign languages, Swahili. But why is this plural? Why is languages multiple, but there's only one language?
Swahili 1 and Swahili 2.
Alfred, and after
Jumbo. Jam. Bro.
History. Let's look at the history course. Of course, there's nothing in here. Oh, wait, online course. Oh, you have to enroll. That makes sense. Fine arts. Okay, so there is nothing on this website, like, at all. There is literally nothing on this website. Church. Donate. Okay, there's nothing on this. Like, there's literally nothing on this website, like, at all. This is, like, kind of insane. Where is the school? Like, let me go down to the bottom. The about. But where is the school located?
They haven't picked out a location yet. All right, let's see.
Contact us.
Donations going straight to his child support.
Where they?
Let me see where are they located.
Wait, what staff page you're talking about? Wait, what staff? Ain't no staff. Ain't nothing on here. Someone said they're located in Wakanda. Oh my God.
What they're trying to say is it's a fictional. Wilmington, DE. Looks like they're possibly. It's just their mailing.
So Lisa donated $1,000. At our academy, our mission is to provide a supportive and inclusive environment that empowers students to achieve their full potential. We strive to cultivate a love of learning and a spirit of curiosity in our students, while also fostering critical. Sorry. Where am I? Skills, strong sense of social responsibility. We believe in the power of education to transform lives and communities and are committed to providing high quality, accessible education for all who seek it. All right, well, we shall see when this comes out. We will be seeing this. I presume the school will be opened in a couple months, I think, I hope. Right?
Google how long it takes to build a school. It's like 3.3 years on the if you're building an extremely large facility with all the bells and whistles, and it's not it. I don't know what they have so far. I know he did a walkthrough one time. He was like, here are the football helmets. I remember that.
Let me go to the walkthrough.
Don't do that.
What's his name? Dr. Umar walkthrough school.
3 years. I would have given him 6.
What we gonna do for the girls' bathroom? We keeping the same color. What we doing for the girls' bathroom? What color we gonna paint the teacher's lounge, family? What color we gonna paint the teacher's lounge? This is King Kong consciousness. I build institutions. I don't just sit on YouTube running my mouth. Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace, other Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde coming to you live and direct inside the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG. We got a scope. Who, Baba Rock, who pulling up for paint day, brothers and sisters? What color y'all want the boys' bathroom? What color do y'all want the boys' bathroom? What color do y'all want the boys' bathroom, brothers and sisters? What color y'all want the boys' bathroom? Oh, yes, hit the Cash App. $ FDMG School. Hit the Cash App. $F. What color should the hallways be? Are we keeping this color? Are we keeping this color, or are we changing the colors to the hallways, brothers and sisters? What we going to do? What we going to do? Let's get some water for libations. Let's get some water for libations. Y'all want to keep the color? Y'all want to change the color? What we gonna do for the girls' bathroom? What we gonna do for the girls' bathroom? We keeping the same color. What we doing for the girls' bathroom? We want to change the color of the stalls. We want to keep black. I don't want to keep black. What color we gonna paint the stalls? I don't think the girls want black stalls, brothers and sisters. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? What color for the hallway, brothers and sisters? What color? Y'all want to keep gold for the rooms? What y'all thinking? What y'all thinking? What color? All the
See, it's under construction. It's under construction. It's under construction. Y'all want too much too quickly.
The rooms need to be different colors, I think. All the rooms need to be different colors, I think. What y'all, I'm thinking.
Umar just walking to an abandoned building. Look at the rooms. Umar just walking to an abandoned building.
Two colors per room, what y'all thinking? 2 colors per room? What y'all thinking? 2 colors per room? What we gonna do? This is King Kong consciousness. I build institutions. I don't just sit on YouTube running my mouth. I build institutions. I don't just sit on YouTube running my mouth. I build institutions. I don't just sit on YouTube running my mouth. Hit the Cash App. What color we gonna paint the rooms, y'all? What color we gonna paint the rooms? Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, $FDM. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me. What color we gonna paint the rooms, baby? What color we gonna paint the rooms, family? What we gonna do?
I never thought about the idea this man is just trespassing on somebody's property. Sir, you can't be in here. That's so funny.
You know he full of it because he just smiling, talking about hit the Cash App.
What color we gonna paint the rooms, family? Talk to me, ladies. I need that color scheme. Where the queens with the color schemes at? Where the queens with the color schemes at? Where the queens with the color schemes at? What color we gonna paint the teacher's lounge? This is the teacher's lounge. Teacher's lounge. What color we gonna paint the teacher's lounge, family? What color we gonna paint the teacher's lounge?
I thought that was a bathroom. What do you mean the teacher? Why are you walking through the bathroom talking about what color you gonna paint the teacher's lounge?
You never see him with like a construction team. Here are the painters. They're here to, paint the school. Here are the plumbing team. You never see him like with actual people here to work on the school and do improvement. Here are the people to put in the ceiling so that you don't just see up into the pipes and stuff, so that we're code ready, because I'm not supposed to be walking in here because the people said it's unsafe for us to walk in here like this. You'll never see him with that. You'll just see him walk around this abandoned building and be like, all right, guys, here's the Cash App. Send some more money.
Right, there's no construction, and we know because he doesn't have a helmet, and yeah, there's no one around. Like, no, it's just an abandoned building.
He has no helmet. He should probably wear one outside the building too.
Why was he not arrested? I don't know.
What color? What poster? What ancestor we gonna hang up in the men's bathroom? What ancestor we gonna hang up in the women's bathroom? Ladies, how do y'all want your bathroom decorated, ladies? Ladies, how do you want the bathroom decorated, ladies? School been built. We just renovating. I think I see a coon on the live. I'm about to send him to the block party. Oh, yes. If you ain't building no institution for the people, please don't criticize. If you ain't never built an institution in your life without no white money, please keep your mouth shut. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's King Kongalicious. It's King Kongalicious. Oh, yes. Who coming to decorate the principal's office? Who coming to decorate the principal's office? Oh, yes. Who coming to decorate the principal's office? Who coming to decorate the principal's office? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I got my Millersville University hoodie on today. I got my Millersville University hoodie on. Homecoming Saturday. Am I pulling up the homecoming? Millersville University. Am I pulling up the homecoming on Saturday? Millersville University. Am I pulling up the homecoming on Saturday? You good, sister? Enjoy yourself.
Can I ask for some not legal advice? You're on mute. But if I were to donate to Dr. Umar's school for the purposes of, I want the school to be up and running and stuff like that, the construction and whatnot, towards the improvement of the school, and I were to suspect that he's not actually using this money to improve the school, would I be able to, like, I don't know, do a class action or something and be like,
They
this
have
is fraud?
they've tried and they've stopped him from collecting money in some states. I think Pennsylvania. It would be a very difficult thing to do. Partly, and I don't think you should be able to do it. Here's why: if you're still donating to Dr. Umar, you just want to give your money away. That would be my defense. I think if you're donating to Dr. Umar in 2025, you don't want your money and you knowingly give it away for him to do whatever he wants with it.
So is this like very public? Hold on, let me Google Dr. Umar sued school.
Mm-hmm. He was barred from collecting money for the school.
Why have I never seen this?
Maybe I made it up in my head.
At everybody's
No, I see some videos on it.
perspective could be right. You know, some people say he got convicted because he shot her, and obviously no black man should ever put their hands on a black woman, let alone shooting her. And other people say Tory is an independent artist who just won control of his masters, which would
Yeah, wait. What? I have questions.
hands on a black woman, let alone shooting her. And other people say Tory is an independent artist who just won control of his masters, which would definitely.
Yeah, I want to say around, but there's all the teachers are black, male and female, and all the students are black.
So he did a good job. I definitely give him kudos. We never had a chance to have a deep conversation, but we did meet before and we had a few words, but never got a chance to do the sit down. But what I appreciated about him even more than that was his manliness. You know, he was a man. He was unapologetic. You know, he was very much a man. You know, very much said what he felt and didn't play no games. And I remember that even as being someone who only was in his presence a few times. And that's something that I remember most when I think about Babaski. Thank you.
Me going there, one thing we learned was Swahili. So we taught, and I was watching the Breakfast Club interview, and you was talking about the curriculum in school, and you didn't mention any African languages.
Well, it's a lot I didn't mention because we only had an hour. But we will have African languages at FDMG. We're still deciding which ones we're going to have, but we plan on teaching the students 3 different ones. So yeah.
Will Swahili be one of them?
Maybe. I'm not sure. We're kind of looking strategically at, you know, the different regions of the continent. I look in South Africa, very large Zulu, very large Xhosa. South Africa is very influential on the continent, so I'm thinking about choosing the South African language. Nigeria is the most populated, so it'd be hard not to include Yoruba or Igbo in there, and then we'll look at a third one. But Swahili might make it in there.
I follow you on the ground yesterday.
Swahili made it in there.
You have posted the video of Tory Lanez father speaking very passionately about his son. He says injustice and the whole everything he said about it. And I want to ask you, like I see everything. You're not watching sports right now, and you're not really dealing with the rap, but you did post that. So I was like, damn, I wonder why you posted that. Do you feel like it was injustice done to the brother?
I posted it because it's relevant. Everybody's talking about it. I wouldn't have even known about the verdict if I didn't get like 100 inboxes. So that's why I posted it, because it was relevant. It was a piece of news. Body's perspective. And I think that everybody's perspective could be right. You know, some people say he got convicted because he shot her, and obviously no black man should ever put their hands on a black woman, let alone shooting her. And other people say Tory is an independent artist who just won control of his masters, which would definitely make the music industry upset. We know Sam Cooke was murdered for his masters. Although R. Kelly did some wrong things, he's not in jail for pedophilia. He's in jail because he wants his masters.
I hate these men. I truly hate those men. I do. Although he did some pedophilic things, he is in prison not because of that, but because of his masters.
Houston is murdered because she wanted her masters. You understand? Prince is dead because Prince didn't want to give Warner Brothers his unpublished music. Michael Jackson is dead because he wouldn't sell back the masters to the Beatles catalog. So for the people who believe that, Tory Lanez conviction is a way for the music industry to get him out the way or potentially incarcerate him, put him in debt, and so now he has to sell the masters, that's relevant too. It's all relevant. I don't know which way the ball bounces. I haven't studied the case. I am going to take a look at it because I think I'm going to have to not decide where I fall at because I don't know enough about the situation. I don't listen to his music or Megan's, but I would just want to be a little bit more informed on the issue. The relevance for me is that this conviction is going to intensify and already has this disgusting back and forth that I see between the so-called black manosphere in the radical black feminist communities. I'm seeing black men and black women go at each other's throats. I see black women championing the idea that sisters should abort any fetus that is a male. I'm
Not him dragging Finn. Not him. He's still dragging Finn. He's still dragging.
Sisters should abort any fetus that is a male. I'm seeing black men say that, they will never date a black woman again. And the problem with all of this rhetoric is the impact it has on.
Mind you, it's only one woman who said it, and he's juxtaposing that against the entirety of the Dusty Manosphere. That is absolutely insane. That is insane.
Doesn't FD kind of do that too?
What's your problem with FD?
Oh, nothing at the moment. Well, he represents like the good man, and like he does kind of the same stuff as
the bad man.
Well, Dr. Umar represents like the shady good man. Well, not the shady good man, like the Pan-African man who people feel like is the good man, kind of. But he's stealing people money. I just found that cease and desist letter. Why it took me so long to find this? I feel like this is suppressed. This should be like the front page of YouTube. I had to go and search for this really hard. Anyway, we should do a video about this, by the way.
Wait, send it to me.
Well, I just found
a bunch of samples. Tory does a bunch of samples. What masters? Ain't nobody want Tory Lanez masters. The people defending Tory, I know they hated popcorn reading at school. Oh, you want to do this? Let me know if you want to do it on your channel or mine. I don't mind.
Oh, well, I'll do one. Let me see if I search cease and desist.
Wait, so you were saying you're going to do it by yourself and you don't need me? Just making sure we understand.
I feel like if I come to YouTube and I search Dr. Umar fraud, I should see videos with, oh, never mind, I found one. It's just poorly put together.
So you're going to put it together better?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And you don't need my help at all?
No, I need your money and resources.
Period.
On our children. Every little kid has a cell phone, so they're watching black men tear down black women, and they're watching black women tear down black men at a time when the media is already pushing forth an agenda of multicultural and same-sex relationships. Every show, every cartoon, every commercial, it's a black man and a non-African woman. It's a black woman and a non-African man. And if they are the same race, then it is a same-sex relationship. And so for kids to be already inundated with that type of propaganda in school and in the media, and then we're going to turn around and further this division.
You know what I don't understand? I don't understand why straight men worry about straight people turning gay. So it feels like they're having like thoughts about homosexuality because like it is. No, let me leave that alone.
Yeah, I think when they say that they see gay men on TV kissing and they worry about their kids, There's an implied statement there. So, Dr. Umar, when you say that they can be turned gay, I want you to imagine, if you can. I know this might be difficult because Dr. Umar exudes masculinity. Dr. Umar, when he sees men kissing on TV, he believes that this can turn him gay. So he doesn't want to see this on TV because these thoughts concern him. So
they concern or consume.
He wants to see less of this on TV because he doesn't want to be turned gay, and he doesn't want his kids to be turned gay. So this confuses him. He doesn't like being confused, and so he wants to go back to when he didn't have these confusing thoughts.
No more gay on TV, so Dr. Umar don't have to have these thoughts.
I had a conversation with someone. This is what they said, like verbatim.
What you just said?
Yeah. They were just like Dr. Umar.
Between the black man and black woman by publicly expressing our disenchantments with one another, I just think we're feeding this monster that's seeking to destroy the black family. A lot of that accountability is going to be on our shoulders because we're participating in the extermination of the black family.
All right. Well, that was useless. That was useless. Any final thoughts before we go? Oh, the girls are eating.
Who are they? Oh, that's
Serena Williams. I forgot
yeah.
this model from America's Next Top Model, and the On My Mama girl.
Serena Williams, when her makeup artist and her stylist does not hate her, she eats down. She eats down, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know what to.
I think you know what I think. Actually, never mind. This isn't a video about Serena.
Now that we are far away from it, I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of seeing black people talking about their Indians and posting that they're Indians in their bio. It's very it's something that has become very annoying to me.
I haven't seen this at all. What I've seen is black people saying, what is it? Gingers are the new black people. That's what I've seen lately. You haven't seen this at all? They're not only invited to the cookout, they're honorary black people now.
Redheads.
Yep. And redheads got on the internet and ruined it in one day. In word, hard R and everything. One day. You already know how TikTok is now. So
it is.
But I haven't
on
seen
my mother, on my hood, I look fly.
Is it like what are they? The black people who are like, we're the true Jews. Is it one of those things where they're like, let's adopt someone else's history completely and fully?
Yeah, they said that we were apparently on American soil before everyone else, and I'm trying to figure out what that means. We were still slaves. I don't understand. Like, a period. I was actually reading W.E.B. Du Bois. I was reading his book again, and I forgot he also was talking about African art predating Columbus' arrival to American shore. I think it's very interesting. I think it's called The Gift of Black People. So if you have any chance to read it, you should. It's a fascinating read for anyone who cares.
I gotta go back and read The Will to Change again, and then I'll do it. I listened to it.
Like you're not about to read any of those books, but
Will to Change. I listened to it as an audiobook, and I didn't retain anything at all. I don't know why. Audiobooks ain't sticking at all. I just remember the only thing I remember about it is I was like, "Girl, what is this?" Hold up.
Hold up.
This can't be the author everybody was talking about. Maybe this one the one to start with. So I have to go back and read physically, and maybe I'll internalize it through this.
When you say this can't be the author we were talking about, are you talking about his writing skills?
Bell Hooks?
Oh, I thought we're talking about my book, The
No,
Will to Change.
The Will to
Bell
Change.
Hooks.
I haven't read what you spoke about.
So you're saying you don't think Bell Hooks is a good writer?
A good? No, that's not it.
What were you saying when you say is this the writer everyone was talking about? I thought you were talking about
the men were telling me to read The Will to Change.
And you said this is the writer everyone is talking about. What does that mean?
Well, I understand why they were telling me to read it.
No, that is not what you said. Don't play in my face now. You said, is this the writer everyone was telling me about?
I feel like let me write my thoughts before I speak them so they're not rude, actually. Everyone has room for improvement. I think it's important for us to remember.
What is the room for improvement? What was it?
I think it's not my place to critique Black women. I wrote some thoughts down.
Well, tell us your thoughts. Wait.
No.
No. Tell us your thoughts.
Bell Hooks or The Will to Change?
Both.
On The Will to Change, I feel that men in feminist spaces weaponize it. I don't think they actually read it. I think they weaponize it.
That ain't got nothing to do with that ain't got nothing to do with your critique of her. Your critique
the weaponization of The Will to Change, how men misuse bell hooks to harm women.
Go ahead. Talk. Let me go get my dried mangoes while you talk to the chat.
Bell hooks seem to articulate a desire to understand men. She says early works of feminists criticized and showed indifference to men, callousness perhaps, but not anything meaningful about working with men or understanding why they are violent, etc. She also seems to grapple with loving a man in a patriarchy and what it means to do so. She says she was called male-identified and dismissed for wanting to include men in the discussion that were centered around women, and people said she was quote-unquote sleeping with the enemy. I want to point out that I don't think she wanted to include men because it seems like men were included in these discussions. I think she wanted to center them. That's all I'll say from what I wrote. It seemed male-centered. Her thoughts seemed male-centered to me.
Wanting to include men in the discussion around feminism.
And it seemed basic. I feel like maybe I'm actually not well-versed in early feminist literature. So, like, to be fair, but to say that men were not included, working with men and understanding why men are violent and all this was not an idea of early feminist thought, and indifference to men seems basic and not very thought out, I feel like.
Why do you call it basic?
Like if I were like, feminists hate men and just want to be better, they want women to be superior to men and have more rights than men, you would be like, that's like so stupid. That's not actually what feminism is. That's like an incredibly basic take and crude and does not actually understand what feminism is. That's what I mean. I'm like, okay, this seems basic based on what I expected to read.
And that's what you think she's saying? That we should include
I'm
men.
about to reread it. I'm about to reread it in her other work. Like,
you don't have to read it. Apparently, the kids are going on AI and have AI summarizing it.
I didn't have AI at the time. I do now. I might as well have it summarized, but I feel like I shouldn't.
Now you know that's what you're gonna do. Here's the thing.
No, not for bell hooks. Maybe for there's someone else I want to read, but I forgot her name.
The fact that so many people,
I don't feel like reading.
I think the fact that so many men cite bell hooks is a problem.
I don't think they're even using AI to summarize when they cite the will to change. I don't think they're like. I don't even think they're using ChatGPT.
But I do think there might be, because like there is an inclusion specifically around Black men, and the kind of dismissive, it bell hooks through the lens of FD signifier, and men like FD signifier have used bell hooks work to suggest that Black men do not have patriarchal power. And that to me is an insane, it is an insane assertion to make. So read it, come back, and we'll discuss if you want.
Okay.
Right.
It's, yeah. And my critique is more towards, the reason I was reading it was not to critique bell hooks. It was more to critique men, specifically men in feminist spaces, who, when they are not centered, like the men who are, what was popular at the time was like, would you rather be in the woods with a man versus bear? And men in feminist spaces were talking about how unwelcome they felt and how you need to stop having these conversations because the good men are here and want to work with you, and you're making us feel unwelcome. You need to go read The Will to Change. They have not read The Will to Change, I don't believe. And they're only weaponizing it to shut women down, essentially. And reading it was supposed to be I guess I didn't have to read it to actually make that argument, but I was just interested in
what it said.
Content.
Yeah. Well, after you read it, I'm going to review my notes on it, but after you read it, we can discuss it.
Okay.
You have a week.
Okay.
No, I'm joking, but if you're able to do it by Friday, it would be great to have two Black men engage in conversation about bell hooks, The Will to Change.
Oh, I have something else in here. Women who defend incompetent men. Why do I have The Will to Change in here? I did control find to see any documents I wrote where I cited The Will to Change.
Oh, I mean, I was done with bell hooks. Tried to drag Beyonce, and that was enough for me to understand her brand of feminism. You can't be dragging Beyonce while defending Black men. That is a wild thing to do. That is insane. that is.
Okay, that's all I got. Oh my God. How could I forget? My jokes. All right. Let me see what I have for you today. Let me see. This picture of a duck. Wait, but I can't present it. Oh, yeah, I can. A duck drawing. No. No, please.
What were you saying?
No, play it. It doesn't work because I can't actually present the screen and put my mouse where I want it to be.
Try it now.
Nope. Oh wait, let me. Yeah, so I can't put my mouse there. Yeah, this joke only works if I can point to the part of the duck. Like I would point to the beak, and then you would say what I'm pointing to. So I would point to it with my mouse, and then you would repeat that thing. Or I would point to the tail, and you would repeat that thing. But I can't point to anything, so.
All right, well, that was fun.
Okay.
I appreciate the effort.
No. I can do something else. It doesn't have to be. Don't worry. A good comic has to have backup plans.
Go ahead.
What did What did Tarzan say when he saw the elephants coming over the hill?
I don't know.
Here come the elephants over the hill. I like dry humor. Okay, all right. What did Tarzan say when he saw the elephants coming over the hill wearing sunglasses? Nothing. He didn't recognize them.
I'm laughing because I don't know why you're laughing. I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, who were those guys? Never seen them before in my life, you know.
Well, that was very well done. I think you can really become a comedic influencer, if you will. I think that is right up your alley. You can quit school, quit the job, and just do it. I think you should just go all in on doing like live comedy on YouTube. I believe you could do it.
Oh, only snaps, please. No claps.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, some promo. I actually have my own channel guide. And if you guys don't know me, because I just want to introduce myself, because I know since FD's been over here, a lot of his followers actually come over. So on my channel, we like to prioritize Black men. We like to do Black boy joy, things like that. We think that this world is hard on Black men, and we want to be soft to Black men on my channel. So I like to think of my channel as a warm hug to Black men, where the world has been cold and harsh to them. We like to be soft. So, yeah.
All right. Well, if y'all want to give Black men a warm hug, go over to FD's channel. It's that. Oh, I said FD. I meant Prince Petty. Go over to Prince Petty channel, and he will give you a warm hug. Is that it? Was that it?
Oh, you want some more jokes?
No. Was that all no. I mean, they're great. Don't get me wrong. They're amazing. Great. Love them. But like announcements.
Announcements. Oh, no.
All right.
Nothing public, no.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here. I'm gonna go to the gym right now after this because I just realized I sat here and had y'all convince me to eat a couple bites of a 5-layer chocolate cake, which I'm definitely gonna finish by next week. All right. Bye, everyone.